Have you ever noticed that some people remain steady on their feet even as they approach 90 or 95, while others struggle with weakness and instability much earlier? Often, the difference isn't just luck or good genes. It's about giving the body the nutritional building blocks it needs to keep muscles, bones, and nerves functioning at their best. While exercise certainly matters, many doctors and specialists point out that a handful of specific vitamins can play an overlooked but vital role in leg strength. In this presentation, we're going to discuss 7 essential vitamins that, when included properly in your diet or supplement routine, can help you maintain the power and stability you need, even well into your 90s. If your goal is to stay active, independent, and able to walk on your own 2 feet, these vitamins might be the hidden allies that tip the scales in your favor, supporting everything from muscle function to bone density to nerve health. Imagine Ellen, a woman who prided herself on her mobility. In her early 70s, she was outpacing friends on brisk walks and climbed stairs with little difficulty. By the time she reached 80, though, she noticed her legs losing that sure-footed spark. She felt wobbly when rising from a chair, needed more breaks if she went grocery shopping, and sometimes found herself avoiding outings because she dreaded the stiffness that came afterward. Worried about a future of canes and walkers, Ellen decided to look at her nutrition more carefully. She'd always heard eat a balanced diet, but she never realized how certain vitamins become increasingly crucial once you enter your senior years. After consulting with a doctor and dietitian, she learned that a few shortfalls in her daily intake might be fueling her weakness and joint discomfort. Within months of correcting those gaps, Ellen saw her stamina improve. She didn't feel like a teenager again. Age does impose certain limits, but she no longer feared the steps outside her house and even went back to short daily walks around the neighborhood. The transformation taught her a simple lesson. At advanced ages, you can't rely on random eating patterns to supply what your muscles, bones, and nerves crave. You need to know which nutrients matter most. The first vitamin that commonly gets attention is vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. Though it's well known for helping the body absorb calcium for bone health, vitamin D also shows up in studies for supporting muscle strength and reducing the risk of falls in older adults. After 70, your skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D, which leaves many seniors deficient unless they actively supplement or consume foods fortified with the nutrient. Without enough vitamin D, bones become more fragile and muscle fibers may not function optimally. Seniors who ignore this can end up experiencing subtle declines in balance and leg endurance, only to blame it on aging rather than a correctable deficiency. If you have minimal exposure to sunlight, maybe you live in a cloudy climate or don't go outdoors often, there's a good chance you're not getting enough. Blood tests can check your vitamin D levels, and if they're low, a doctor might recommend a supplement. Some older adults worry about taking too much, but moderate doctor-guided doses can be a game changer, letting your body fully utilize dietary calcium while also stabilizing muscle function. Ellen saw a marked difference once she corrected her low vitamin D. Her bone density readings improved slightly at her next checkup, and she felt more confident walking without worrying that one misstep could lead to a fracture. Another vitamin that stands out for seniors aiming for strong legs is vitamin B12. Though often tied to energy and red blood cell production, B12 also plays a direct role in maintaining healthy nerves. After all, your legs aren't just bone and muscle, they need nerves that fire properly to coordinate movement and balance. If your B12 is low, you might experience numbness, tingling, or a sense of weakness that can throw off your gait. Older adults are more prone to B12 deficiency because the stomach produces less acid over time, making it harder to extract the vitamin from foods like meat, fish, or dairy. Some medications that seniors commonly take, like certain acid blockers, further reduce B12 absorption. So even if you think you're eating enough, your body might not be actually taking in what it needs. Over months or years, this can lead to something called subclinical deficiency, where you feel mild but persistent fatigue or leg weakness without a clear explanation. Ellen discovered she was borderline deficient in B12. After adding a B12 supplement and focusing on some B12-rich foods, she noticed less numbness in her feet and felt more stable on uneven ground. One caution: not everyone needs high doses of B12, so it's smart to get tested or talk to a healthcare provider before you start self-dosing. But once addressed, B12 often helps with the nerve conduction that's critical for walking, climbing stairs, and general mobility. A third vitamin that emerges in the context of leg health is vitamin K. You may primarily know vitamin K for its role in blood clotting, but it also contributes to bone metabolism by helping the body direct calcium into the bones and teeth, rather than letting it accumulate in arteries or elsewhere. Seniors often focus on calcium and vitamin D, but forget that vitamin K is like a traffic controller, channeling calcium to where it actually benefits your skeletal structure. A deficiency can lead to less efficient bone mineralization, which might accelerate the bone density losses that come with age. If your bones are weaker, your legs can't bear weight as effectively, and you're at higher risk of fractures, particularly in the hips. Some seniors also find that vitamin K helps maintain a level of flexibility in soft tissues, further supporting functional leg use. Though K1 is abundant in leafy greens like spinach and kale, many older folks don't eat enough greens to maintain robust levels. There's also K2, found in fermented foods and some animal products, which many nutrition experts believe is critical for bone and vascular health. Checking with your doctor about whether a vitamin K supplement or just more K-rich foods would help your specific scenario is wise, especially if you're on blood thinners that can be influenced by vitamin K. For Ellen, simply adding a daily serving of spinach or kale, along with certain cheeses rich in K2, helped ensure she wasn't missing out on this lesser-discussed nutrient. She saw it as a team effort: vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin K working together to keep her legs stable and less prone to injury. Also, don't overlook vitamin C, often associated with immune function, but also crucial for collagen synthesis. Collagen is the structural protein that helps maintain not just your skin, but also cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. If you picture your leg, it's not just a stack of bones and muscles. There are connective tissues that hold everything in alignment. When you're short on vitamin C, your body may struggle to produce or maintain collagen effectively, contributing to joint stiffness or discomfort that makes it harder to stay active. As you age, preserving joint health can be as important as building muscle. If your knees or ankles ache due to worn-down cartilage, no amount of muscle strength can compensate for that pain or instability. Vitamin C can serve as a protective factor, warding off or at least slowing degenerative changes in your joints. It's also a powerful antioxidant, helping to minimize inflammation that can attack your leg tissues. While you can get vitamin C from citrus fruits, bell peppers, berries, and even broccoli, many seniors still fall short, especially if their appetite diminishes or they skip fresh produce. Ellen found that supplementing with a moderate dose of vitamin C, plus snacking on fruits like kiwi and strawberries, gave her a gentler cushion of insurance, especially during cold months when fresh produce is less abundant. The small change helped her joints feel less stiff in the mornings. Then there's vitamin E, another antioxidant that can shield your legs from the oxidative stress that accumulates over decades. Oxidative stress might sound abstract, but it's essentially the cellular wear and tear caused by free radicals. For older adults, chronic oxidative stress can undermine muscle recovery, hamper nerve cells, and even exacerbate inflammation in bones and joints. Vitamin E's antioxidant action can help your leg muscles recover better from minor strains or micro tears that come from everyday walking or climbing stairs. By reducing this stress, you lower the risk of persistent soreness and potentially maintain a bit more muscle resilience. Seniors might find that as their body becomes slower to heal, an adequate vitamin E intake can gently support that healing process. Typically found in nuts, seeds, and certain plant oils, vitamin E is often overshadowed by more famous vitamins, but it can form part of a holistic approach to leg health. If you rely on a diet heavy in processed foods rather than whole, fresh items, you might easily slip below recommended intake levels. That's why some older people find a mild vitamin E supplement beneficial, though caution is necessary if you're on blood thinners, since vitamin E can in rare cases impact clotting. Ellen introduced more almonds and sunflower seeds into her routine and saw small but meaningful benefits in how quickly her legs bounced back from longer walks. The next nutrient, though not strictly a vitamin, is often lumped in with key vitamins for seniors: magnesium. It deserves mention because it underpins muscle contraction and relaxation, helps maintain bone density, and even influences nerve function. If your magnesium is chronically low, which can happen with certain medications or diets lacking in greens, nuts, and whole grains, you might experience leg cramps, muscle twitches, or a general sense of fatigue in your lower body. Some seniors rely on bananas for potassium, but forget that magnesium is equally essential. The synergy between magnesium and other vitamins helps your body run smoothly. For instance, magnesium aids in converting vitamin D into its active form, meaning if you're short on magnesium, vitamin D might not do its job effectively. Ellen realized she was sometimes battling cramps at night, a sign of a possible magnesium deficiency. By making small adjustments, like switching from white bread to whole grain, adding a handful of pumpkin seeds to her salad, and sometimes using a magnesium supplement after her doctor's approval, she found her cramps subsiding. Her legs felt more relaxed, especially at bedtime, which translated into better sleep and more stable energy levels in the morning. Lastly, we come to vitamin B6, another underrated contender in the quest for leg vitality. B6 cooperates with B12 and folate to support proper nerve function and hemoglobin production. If you're lacking in B6, your muscles and nerves might not receive the oxygen and nutrients they need for optimal performance, potentially leaving you feeling heavier on your feet. B6 is also involved in protein metabolism, meaning it helps the body break down and use the protein that you ingest to build or repair muscle tissue. Particularly for seniors who consume adequate or high protein but still see muscle decline, a deficiency in B6 could be hampering the body's efficiency. Though B6 is found in various foods like poultry, fish, and bananas, appetite changes or dietary restrictions sometimes leave seniors with a borderline intake. Ellen, for instance, seldom ate fish, skipping it because she found it cumbersome to cook for one person. She also limited her overall meat consumption for health reasons. Only when she realized her B6 levels might be subpar did she look into alternative sources or a mild supplement. Within a few weeks of consistent B6, she noticed a subtle boost in how her legs felt after moderate exercise, as though she had a bit more stamina than before. Now that we've identified these key vitamins, D, B12, K, C, E, magnesium, as an honorable mention, though not a vitamin, and B6, the question is how to integrate them effectively and safely, especially once you're aiming to maintain strong legs at 95 or beyond. The real trick is synergy. You don't want to assume that megadosing on one nutrient will solve everything. Overloading on vitamin D, for instance, can cause toxicity if you disregard medical guidelines. Piling on too much E might interact with blood thinners. Meanwhile, skipping out on B12 or B6 can undermine your muscle-building efforts, no matter how diligent you are about protein. A balanced approach, ideally guided by periodic blood tests, can yield the best results. Some older adults do fine just by improving their diet, adding a daily portion of leafy greens, some oily fish each week, plus fruit and seeds for vitamins C and E. Others might need a curated supplement regimen. If you're uncertain about dosage, a healthcare provider or a qualified nutritionist can help craft a plan based on your medical history, medications, and any allergies. Another key is to pair these vitamins with consistent physical activity that challenges your lower body. Strengthening your legs requires both the nutrients to rebuild muscle fibers and the stimulus for growth. No matter how perfect your vitamin intake might be, if you rarely stand, walk, or do mild resistance exercises, your muscles might not maintain their full potential. Even seniors with mobility issues can often do chair squats, leg lifts, or water aerobics. With improved nutritional status, these exercises become safer and more effective, ensuring that your bones and muscles respond by thickening or staying at a robust level. The outcome is a positive cycle. Strong nutrition supports better exercise, which in turn fosters better circulation and nutrient uptake. Meanwhile, a body that moves confidently is far less likely to suffer from debilitating falls or fractures that can spiral into longer recovery times. By focusing on synergy, you give yourself the greatest odds of staying on your feet, maintaining an active lifestyle, and enjoying the independence that so many fear losing as they approach advanced age. Of course, no talk of vitamins for leg strength would be complete without mentioning some basic but crucial habits. Hydration stands out. Many older adults drink less fluid, leading to dryness that can hamper digestion and nutrient absorption. If you're dehydrated, even the best diet can't fully deliver its benefits. Also, keep an eye on your overall protein and calorie intake. Vitamins need protein carriers and a certain level of overall nutrition to do their jobs efficiently. If you're skipping meals or living on snacks with minimal protein, vitamins alone won't patch that deficit. Another point is to keep an eye on your digestive health. If you have conditions like acid reflux or a hiatal hernia and rely heavily on antacids, you might alter the absorption of B vitamins or other nutrients. If that's the case, you may require specialized forms of vitamins or certain timing strategies to maximize absorption. Checking in with a doctor about these interactions can help you fine-tune your regimen. Some seniors also discover that dividing their supplements throughout the day, rather than taking them all at once, reduces stomach upset and might boost how much the body can use. As you fine-tune your intake of these vitamins, don't expect overnight miracles though. It can take weeks to months for your body to rebuild muscle mass, improve nerve conduction, or strengthen bones once it has adequate nutrients. That's part of why it's wise to start paying attention to these factors in your 60s, rather than waiting for your 80s or 90s. But even if you're already in your mid to late 70s or beyond, it's rarely too late to see tangible improvements. Seniors often share stories of how they started a moderate vitamin regimen, along with simple leg exercises, and within a couple of months, they noticed steadier balance, fewer cramps, or a reduced fear of falling. For some, it's the difference between climbing stairs with caution but confidence and avoiding them altogether. That can translate to a richer social life, the ability to remain in a multi-story home, or the courage to keep traveling and exploring. The potential payoff extends beyond just your legs, too. Many of these vitamins, from D to B12, can also sharpen mental function, support heart health, and improve your overall vitality. That synergy means the benefits can ripple out, giving you a broader sense of wellness. Conversely, ignoring these nutritional needs can gradually confine you to a more sedentary lifestyle as your legs give out and you rely increasingly on canes, walkers, or family assistance. Of course, some individuals have conditions that limit them anyway, but the crucial point is that ignoring correctable deficiencies can accelerate that decline. Meanwhile, seniors who remain mindful of vitamin levels may keep walking unassisted and independently for many more years than they ever expected. One final note. Some older adults feel bombarded by advice from all corners, calcium, probiotics, iron, so on, and get overwhelmed. They fear taking too many pills. If that's you, remember that not everyone needs each vitamin in high doses. Maybe your diet already provides ample vitamin C through fruits, or you get plenty of B12 from a robust intake of fish and dairy. If so, you might only need to address vitamin D or magnesium. The surest way to clarify is through periodic blood work or consultations, helping you identify which vitamins you're truly lacking. That approach can save you from guesswork and possibly from wasting money on unnecessary supplements. Also, watch out for marketing hype that pushes mega doses. More isn't always better. Some vitamins can cause toxicity if taken excessively. Moderation, guided by science, typically yields the best results. In essence, these 7 vitamins, D, B12, K, C, E, magnesium, and B6, aren't a one-size-fits-all prescription. They're pillars that many older adults rely on, either through diet or carefully chosen supplements, to keep their lower body capable of supporting an active, independent life. The specific formula that works for you depends on your personal health status, your typical diet, and any underlying conditions. At the end of the day, if you're hoping to retain leg strength and remain mobile, consider shining a spotlight on these vitamins. Engage in a conversation with your doctor about whether you might be short on any. Pay attention to the signals your body sends. Fatigue, cramps, or balance trouble can hint at missing nutrients. Then craft a plan that addresses these gaps while also pairing them with moderate exercise that suits your level, enough hydration, and an overall balanced meal pattern. Many older folks who've done so find themselves amazed at how much better they can move, even at 95. They realize the climb into their grandchildren's porch or the short walk to a favorite park is no longer such a daunting challenge. That little shift can restore a sense of dignity and freedom, letting them enjoy daily life's simple pleasures, like strolling outdoors on a sunny afternoon or carrying groceries without wincing at each step. If that's the outcome you crave, then paying attention to these essential vitamins might just be one of the wisest decisions you can make. Let's usher in a future where you maintain the strong, agile legs that keep you firmly in control of your own life story, far beyond what anyone might predict.